The entire point of democracy is to go out to your base of support and say, what do you need? And then they tell you, this is what I need. Fix this. Housing. Major issue for me. Please fix it. And then you go, got you. I got you. Here's what I'm going to do for housing. Yeah. Zohran Mamdani has obviously made a lot of waves in both the Democratic Party and also just American politics in general as a, as a fairly successful, leftist candidate. He's making waves. And clearly, as soon as that happens, as soon as someone starts making waves, the Democrats look at that and go, we should also change. We should also do this. We should do our very best to behave like this, to try and ensure that we try to figure out what the essence of Zohran is, what has caused Zohran to be so successful, and then recreate it in our own image, use it to our own advantage. And of course, Andrew Cuomo, who just lost to Zohran, predictably doesn't realize that the thing that made Zohran successful was the policies and the people-backed candidacy born out of his earnest interest in advancing people's material conditions, the working class's material conditions. He was able to create this massive ground game as a direct consequence of identifying issues that people were experiencing in New York and then offering solutions and constantly just pushing on those issues over and over again, having a people first candidacy, having a people's first campaign. But of course, Democrats refuse to do that. So I guess the only thing that they're doing in its stead is the videos, man on the street videos. We're here. We're going to see a lot of Democrats, annoying Democrats of all different backgrounds, try to do the Zohran like man on the street style, videos. So get ready for that, because they literally think it's just social media. They think it is just about like going outside and filming yourself and then making social media stuff. They think it's just aesthetics, which is incredibly fucking stupid. Let's see.
I'm Andrew Cuomo. And unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know that the Democratic primary did not go the way I had hoped. To the 440,000 New Yorkers who voted for me,
this guy did not want to be on camera. That's so funny. He tries to dab up. Look at this.
Did not go the way I had hoped. To the
that's staged, okay? And that's a Parks guy. That's a New York Parks guy. And he did not want to be on it.
140,000 New Yorkers who voted.
He literally doesn't even turn around. He doesn't even look at Andrew Cuomo in the face. And he just basically keeps it pushing. He goes, okay, dabbed you up, keep going.
Voted for me, a sincere thank you. Thank you for believing in me, in my agenda, and in my experience. And I am truly sorry that I let you down. But as my grandfather used to say,
bro, this is, oh my God. He's trying to do Zohran. He's trying to do the classic, the Zohran walk from point to point. When Zohran did tip to tip and went from one part of Manhattan to the top of New York, or I think he did the 5 boroughs walk, whatever. Like when Zohran did the thing after he got like death threats, it's crazy. It's crazy to see Andrew Cuomo trying to like recreate that. Not realizing that it's not just about, the fact that he got hella people shaking his hands. When he did that shit, it wasn't about like people shaking his hands on video. It was how much that materialized into a real ground game. It was how impactful his policies, his agenda was. These people literally think it's just fake. They think Zohran Mamdani looked good on these social media hits. And that's the reason why people were dabbing him up, not realizing that he was nothing, okay? Zohran was nobody. I'm sorry. This is not disrespectful to Zohran. This is just the reality. He was just a fucking low-level assemblyman. The reason why people were dabbing his ass up everywhere he went is because people believed in the policies. That social media campaign was not fake. It was just a way to show. It was just a way to show how popular he was with like regular folk out of nowhere. That's the thing. You can see this gap playing out in the young/old races. Some of the elderly members do social, and it looks like cameo. It looks like the cameo you get from a celebrity you thought was dead. I think these guys unironically deluded themselves into believing a falsehood that the thing that made Zohran popular was the social media videos, and not social media videos translating or showcasing the actual popularity of Zohran on the ground because of the policies. It always goes back to the policies. Zohran is a vessel. He is a vehicle. He is a politician. I don't understand why Democrats just keep forgetting this incredibly basic concept. I don't care about how sexy a politician is. I don't care about how charismatic a politician is. I care about a politician's policies. Their charisma helps. It doesn't hurt, but it only helps when they are communicating earnesty, okay? When they're communicating what they want to do. You can be the most charismatic person on the planet, but if your policies are dog shit, you're going to lose. This is incredibly insincere. And yeah, Zohran ratioed his ass, apparently, where he contribute NewYorkCityVotes.org. New York City Campaign Finance Program gives you small donor contribution with a big impact. And all of this is happening as Cuomo himself has not even acknowledged whether or not he's going to run. So this is a real will he, won't he type situation with Cuomo, ironically enough. So he's not even saying that he's actually going to run. I mean, he's so cooked. He's so cooked. You cannot have a banger social media campaign, okay?
You get knocked down. Learn the lesson and pick yourself back up and get in the game. And that is what I'm going to do. The fight to save our city isn't over. Only 13% of New Yorkers voted in the June primary. The general election is in November, and I am in it to win it.
Oh, he is in it.
My opponent, Mr.
So this is his announcement that he's staying in.
Mamdani offers slick slogans, but no real solutions. We need a city with lower rent, safer streets. We're buying your...
Because he's gone back and forth on whether or not he's going to actually run. That's the hilarious part of this, is that he keeps going, yeah, I'm going to run, but I'm not going to run. I don't know if I want to run. And now he's running.
The first home is once again possible, where childcare won't bankrupt you. That's the New York City we know. That's the one that is...
Bro, this is so fucking fake. I'm losing my mind. This is pathetic, bro. This is actually pathetic. He's trying to do the fucking Zohran thing. Oh, these guys are so awesome. They're so stupid. They are so fucking stupid. Exactly the kind of stupidity that I despise when they're running against Republicans, because this is exactly the type of stupidity that causes them to lose against Republicans. But right now, he's running against a Democrat. He's running against our guy. He's running against Zohran Mamdani. So I like that he's making these mistakes. If he was actually intelligent, he would identify what caused Zohran Mamdani to get tremendous success, because he didn't have the name recognition. Social media helped get him the name recognition, but it wasn't the charisma that allowed people to enjoy Zohran Mamdani or see Zohran Mamdani as a real dynamic candidate that they could rely on, that they could vote for. It wasn't his social media operation. It was his fucking policies. His policy always goes back to policies. You don't go to a restaurant just because of the marketing. You go to that restaurant maybe one time because of the marketing, but you don't go back to that restaurant if it's just marketing. You need to have like an actual product. For politicians, their product is what they can do for you. Their product and what they're selling is what they can do for you. And a lot of these stupid fucking Democrats and many stupid Republicans as well just forget that their product, what they're serving for you, is their policies. It's that simple. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is at the heart of the democratic process. This is what democracy is all about. There are a million reasons as to why Zohran was as successful as he was as initially a relatively unknown figure in New York politics going into the Democratic primary, and then actually seizing seizing all of the attention from this incredibly crowdy, incredibly busy primary race, and just making a name for himself successfully and becoming basically like the singular force for progressive politics, like the guy that everyone could basically associate with and like rally around, right? But the issue here is people think he was able to do that because of his social media. People think he was able to do that because of his social media team. And I know his social media team. There are HasanAbi heads in his social media team. It's not just the social media team. The social media team did a fantastic job of getting Zohran in front of people. But more importantly than just getting Zohran in front of people, the social media team did a fantastic job of getting Zohran's policies in front of people. But because these guys, including Andrew Cuomo and everyone else that have done like an analysis on like Zohran's success, has consistently repeated this fucking lie over and over again that, oh, it's because he did like sexy social media stuff and that's why he saw so much success. They believe their own lies, and it's kind of funny when you think about it. Like it's obvious that this isn't just a simple distraction. They weren't just saying like, "Oh, what's Zohran's success? Oh, it's just superficial shit." I thought when the media was saying that, they were just doing that because they just like refused to identify that like these policies are rather popular, and social media, his good social media team basically got this in front of so many people. But they truly believe it. They think it's actually just him doing man on the street stuff. It's him dabbing people up.
Still possible. You haven't given up on it, and you deserve a mayor with the experience and ideas to make it happen again, and the guts to take on anyone who stands in the way. Every day I'm going to be hitting the streets, meeting you where you are, to hear the good and the bad, problems and solutions. Because for the next few months, it's my responsibility to earn your vote. So let's do this. I'll see you out there.
I am the social media guy. I should be taking advantage of the fucking stupidity of the Democratic Party. If I was a fucking grifter, I'd be like, yeah, you know why Zohran won? Because of the podcast vote. You know why Zohran won? Because he came to me. Because he went to Chapo. Because he went on all these podcasts. Okay? But that's a lie. Like, that's not the case. I'm out here handing the strategy for free 99, even though it goes against my best interest. Okay? It's so stupid that everyone in like traditional media, all these old people in traditional media are like, what is this? How did this happen? How did Kamala lose? For months, when CNN would come to me and like NBC, CBS, all these outlets would come to me and ask like, we're doing an autopsy on why Kamala Harris lost. And we think it's because there's no Joe Rogan of the left. You have been identified as the Joe Rogan of the left. I kept repeating it over and over again. You cannot podcast your way out of this problem. You cannot social media your way out of this problem. You can't. You need to have, I could interview every fucking candidate. I could interview Pete Buttigieg. Okay. Tomorrow, I could interview Kamala Harris. But I cannot, or Joe Rogan himself, who has a much larger platform than me, cannot actually make or break someone's candidacy. Okay? The candidates themselves also have to figure out what the issues are, what the people are perceiving as like major issues, and then have an actual solution and be able to communicate that actual solution in an earnest way. In a way that people believe. Yeah, another thing that people don't understand is that like Mamdani won an 11-way primary race. Cuomo's unpopularity worked for all the other candidates. Mamdani won because he had the best policies. It's not like Mamdani just defeated Andrew Cuomo. Mamdani also defeated all of the other younger candidates, for example. Like, this is something that people are forgetting. Mamdani in the first rank vote got more votes than everybody else. It's that simple. He won. He defeated like 10 other candidates or 11 other candidates, some of which had Andrew Cuomo style policies, but without the baggage of being Andrew Cuomo. And for some weird reason, people just like discount all of that. Here are some of the key takeaways from the new DFP New York City poll. In a traditional mayoral electorate, Mamdani is up 16 points over Cuomo. Zohran Mamdani leads with all racial groups and 4 out of the 5 boroughs. Andrew Cuomo has negative favorability among Democrats, -9, independents, -43, and Republicans, -15. Housing is Democrats' top issue at 33%, but less than 1% of Republicans said it was theirs. It's not. He won a resounding victory. Like, he won a victory that is undeniable, okay? You cannot, no matter how hard you try to swing it in whichever direction you want to swing it, you cannot try to change the attention from what the actual reasons were. Like Harry Hasan says, lesson of the night, and this was right after the primary ended. Please, Democrats, embrace social media and new media. It clearly works. Harry Hasan wasn't there. He wasn't there in the gym. He wasn't shooting up threes with Zohran, right? But he was a hanger-on that wanted to basically point to social media as the reason for success when it's not the case. That's not like social media played a role in this, but it's not like Harry Hasan played a role in this. He didn't say nothing about Zohran. He didn't play a fucking role in this at all. The impact that social media has at the end of the day is a megaphone, okay? That's what it is. I am a vessel. I am a weapon that you can wield. I'll use myself as an example. As someone with a fairly large, fairly active community of like organizers and people who are door knockers themselves, like I'm a megaphone. What you say into that megaphone matters. If you take the megaphone that I am and yell into it and you say a bunch of dumb shit, if you say things are actually fine, a better future is not possible, then people are going to hear you and they're not going to like what you have to say. The reason why this worked so perfectly was because of what Zohran was saying, what his policies were. I don't know why this is so confusing for Democrats. I feel like they have whipped their base of support into winning primaries first and foremost so aggressively. They've basically created this media environment, this media ecosystem that revolves around panicking and like pushing away any sort of leftist mobilization and leftist momentum, that they've lost the plot about what it is. They lost the plot about what it is to be a politician in a democratic country. The entire point of democracy is to go out to your base of support and say, what do you need? And then they tell you, this is what I need. Fix this. Housing, major issue for me. Please fix it. And then you go, got you. I got you. Here's what I'm going to do for housing. It's that simple. I don't know why people want to fucking complicate this situation. It's so dumb to try and complicate the situation. There's an entire industry, a cottage industry filled to the brim with like Yale, Harvard, and George Washington University graduates that can get paid $100,000 to $200,000 a year to literally complicate this process. Oh, is it because you didn't go to the right podcast? Is it because you didn't dance? You didn't find like a brat style dance for yourself? You didn't associate yourself with like a popular song or whatever? No, it's none of those things. Those things can boost you, but at the most basic level, you have to have fundamentals. You have to have solid fucking fundamentals. You can have the cleanest looking jumper of all time, but if you can't make those buckets, it doesn't fucking matter. All right. If you don't have solid fundamentals, it doesn't matter how clean your jumper looks. It doesn't matter what your gear looks like on the basketball court. You could have the coolest gear, okay? You could look like a real ass baller, but if you don't have solid fundamentals, you're gonna lose. It's that simple. You're not gonna fucking win.